go to UVA, and I ended up there because I got in. Good enough reason for me to go, so.
Hello, my name is Omar. Go to Mary Wash, and I ended up there. I don't even know how I got in, but I got in.
I'm Peter. I go to Wagner College, Staten Island, New York. Wagner College, Staten Island, New York. My name is Peter, and I picked it because it was a school in North. And
I'm Max. I go to the University of Tampa, and I picked it because I wanted an internship in sports.
I'm Ian Fontaine, and I go to Christopher Newport University in Newport News, and still been trying to figure out why I picked it. I love it, but I think I went to a thespian conference there that Wakefield did, and and then I thought I was going to be a theater major, but that's a long story, so I'll pass it on.
I'm Sarah. I go to Baylor University, and I ended up there because honestly they gave me the most money.
My name is Ryan Sloan. I also go to Baylor University, and Baylor was actually the first school I visited, and nothing really topped it, and they gave me the most money.
I am Erin Kennedy. I got in early decision to Washington and Lee and went there for my freshman year, but I've since transferred to UVA, so I'm there right now and hope to stay.
I'm Katie. I go to UVA, and I chose UVA because it's in-state and it's a really good school.
I'm Annie. I go to College of Charleston. I picked it because I liked it. It's warm.
I'm Gracie. I go to Lynchburg College, and I picked it because, many reasons. My family goes there, or went there, and they gave me good scholarship money, so, yeah.
Any questions from the masses? Go ahead,
What's college like?
Alright, somebody else. Other questions?
It's an easy question.
It's whatever you want to do.
I could actually answer that.
Okay.
Alright, well, Mr. Oliver said that there was already more freedom in college, but I think it's just a lot less. Your day's structured, but you make your own structure on the whole thing, and so you're doing a lot of self-scheduling, even when you know where your class time is and stuff like that. My day doesn't end until 4 a.m., but I also still feel like I have way more freedom to do anything that I really want to do. So, personally, I think it's easier than Wakefield. There's not 4 minutes between classes, there's 2.5 hours. And I've played Brawl for 5 hours and still got all my homework done during the day. So I think it's just a lot more relaxed. Finals are stressful, but I guess that's what college like. So.
Bobby?
what is the sleep scene? What's the sleep scenario?
Well, as a person that likes to sleep, I find time to sleep throughout the day.
Naps are perfect. I love
Naps.
Naps.
I go to class, I take a nap. I go to class, I eat, take a nap. I may wake up, do some homework. That's mandatory, but at the same time, at that time, it's optional. And then I eat again. May or may not play basketball. May take a nap. And then, really, because I like to put my work off until I feel like I can't do homework when it's sun outside, because I'm so used to not doing homework when it's sun outside. So, I do it at night, so I get all my sleep during the day. So.
I think going off that, naps are key. I, however, slept through most of my freshman semester, my first semester there. Don't do that. I ended up failing out. I'm graduating a year early, so I overcame that. But
it is, college is what you make of it. It's the scheduling. If you want to schedule your own time, if you want to take a nap, but you need to make sure that you're like ahead of everything. And Wakefield really helps with that. I mean, it was like second nature to me. It's probably like second nature to everybody up here. But yeah, you can take naps whenever you want. You can. There is a lot of freedom, but I found the best thing that works for me is that I have a full-time job. I work close to 50 hours a week, and I take 19 credits. I just like to keep busy. I'm graduating a year early. I said that.
Okay.
That's how I'm doing it. But it's what you do. I mean, you obviously can't do that in high school. It's something completely different. So it's what you make of it.
I got it. Yeah, I spend more time. You should be sleeping, it's good for you, but I don't like sleeping, I like being in the gym more. My gym is 24 hours, so you know, it works with my schedule. After class you go to the gym, you eat, maybe do like an hour of the homework. No, I gave for freshman 25. Yeah. I like to say that.
Freshman 25?
Other questions? I heard that some college kids have unnatural urges to make Walmart runs. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh. New York doesn't have Walmart, so.
Yeah, Walmart is like one of those places where it's like you can be studying for hours, like 2 a.m. all of a sudden you get the urge, just go to Walmart and run around the aisles and be ridiculous. It's great, stress relief. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, for my college it's Harris Teeter, which is kind of unfortunate because it's actually really expensive. Like we really have no choice. I mean, when you need a power bar, you need a power bar. But I think we also make those frequent 2 a.m. runs because we have no money at any other time. I mean, like, surely we have money during the day, but, like, we don't really. We have like $10, and so if the only place you can go is Walmart or Harris Teeter, that's where you go. I mean, if when you get into college, unless you're max and work 50 hours a week, apparently, you should get used to being really, really poor.
It's unpaid. Yes. It's unpaid. I am poor. Don't worry.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, yeah, you should get used to being really, really poor, and then randomly paying for, like, this program you want to do that's $50 this semester, and so like I joined the jiu-jitsu team, and that cost like was there a laugh? And that cost like $200 this semester. I was like, I don't really have $200, and now I definitely don't have $200. So yeah, so in terms of finances, I don't actually have any, and most people should get used to that.
Have any of you declared your major? How did you make that decision, and how did you go about it?
We'll start down there.
We can't do it yet, so.
I got it.
Alright, I obviously declared my major. I'm a senior this year, my third year. I declared going in. I knew I wanted to major in sport management. Went there to get an internship in sports, yada yada yada. It's kind of an easy choice for me, but I'm sure a lot of people have more interesting stories.
I declared athletic training because I kind of always know that I kind of want to do it because I've always wanted to be around sports and everything. And actually, in order to be an athletic trainer, you have to declare your freshman year so that you can have your candidacy year, and then at the end of your candidacy year, you actually apply for the program. So that's how I came up with that.
I'm personally doing engineering, and with engineering, you're taking so many engineering-related courses. If you don't declare freshman year, then you're going to be graduating another year late. It's for some degree programs like engineering, they're a little bit more aggressive with how they structure your schedule. You do have to declare as early as your freshman year. So.
At WNL, I kind of used my first year to take a bunch of classes and see what I was interested in. I started out thinking physics and engineering, and then I took one high school physics class, and it got really hard, and I decided I didn't want it to get harder, so I chose psychology. But one of the reasons I transferred is UVA has a really interesting cognitive science program, and WNL is so small it only had psychology and neuroscience, so I transferred so that I could be in that program, and I'm going to declare very soon, I believe. Yeah.
I'm undeclared.
I've changed 3 times. I started freshman year doing psychology because I thought it was really interesting. Did it turn off? Or is it turned on? No. Is it? Okay, I can tell. And it was really fun, but then I realized I had to take a math course in psychology, and I was like, no way. So then this year I decided to do English because obviously we have such a core learning in English coming from Wakefield, and then that was so boring. So now I'm doing art history, and it is the most fascinating course. You all probably had to take one as a requirement and hate it because 99% of the world does, but I think it's awesome. So I'm art history now, and I'm minoring in French.
I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just declared a business major and also a photography minor and a journalism minor. I kept being indecisive and I just didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I kind of put 3 different areas into my major and minor, so I never thought that was possible, but luckily it ended up that it'll work. So.
Majors, right? Yeah, I'm a history and communications double major, and so I scratched theater completely. I never actually took a theater course at CNU. I sort of got there and then realized that, like, well, it's a long story on the theater program, but it's not what I thought it necessarily would be. I'm sure it's good for other people, but it looked like my major was pretty clear because I've always wanted to do history. But minor-wise, I went through all in like 2 weeks. I went through theater, psychology, leadership, philosophy and religious studies, and like never math. And then decided on communications out of the blue as a minor, and then it became a major. So like, I mean, I ended up changing like 5 times in my minor. So I don't know what that says. But.
Yeah, I think minors are really important. I have a communications minor, and I did it because I had an internship for a television station down in Tampa, and I was like, wow, this is really cool, and I was able to turn it into a minor and get actual credit for it. So, like, Annie said French is your minor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's completely different than what she's majoring in. You can really be diverse.
This doesn't really anything to do with majors, because I'm still under Claire. But when first couple classes I took, a lot of them had to do a lot with writing, and you don't realize how prepared you are for writing leaving here. A good guess, you'll be way ahead of your peers in writing.
Wait.
They gave us like 2 months to write a 5-page paper, and other people were crying, and you get it done. You don't realize how ahead you are with writing. I mean, even if you're not the best writer here, you're probably a lot more prepared than some of your classmates. So you get a chance to choose some of those and boost your freshman GPA so you don't get buried. Take some classes like writing because you're going to be better prepared for them. So.
That writing note, yeah, you really don't understand. My second year there, we'd already passed like writing 101, writing 102, all that stuff. I had a person turn in a paper, their final paper, and said there was double space, it was obviously single space. When asked, the guy said, yeah, I put 2 spaces between each word. So you are prepared, don't worry, you can do it.
Yeah, in my first week in this religious studies course, he assigned some paper that was due the next Tuesday, and all the kids freaked out, and I was like, wow, it's a 3-page paper, and you have a whole week to do it. And everyone was like, we only have a week. But like, especially senior thesis. I mean, I know that, maybe it's good for you guys, but I mean, like, I use, he's not even here. I use Mr. Zonti's like research thing that he had us do with like the note cards. I use that for every paper. So, and I meant to tell him, but yeah, it's like Wakefield really does prepare you, no matter how. Anyway, if you get out of it and you think it didn't do anything, and then you get in college, you'll realize it did. So.
What extracurricular things are you guys involved in that you didn't think of? Never be involved in.
Omar, everybody knows.
Oh, screw you! Not ones we know you're doing.
I know. Omar, what are you doing? Jim?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's about Yep.
See, I didn't know.
I mean, extracurricular, I'm in some programs, like initiative programs, just trying to help students on campus, it's like network with the deans and different faculty, it's like an open environment for them. Like if they have any problems, just to come talk to teachers, and I'm helping to like start that up around school. And then other than that, club basketball, it's kind of just like pick up with the uniform. So that's pretty laid back. Other than that, just school.
Well, I'm playing club lacrosse at Baylor, and it's pretty competitive because there's a whole entire Texas league that we play against, and we play against other schools like A&M, UT. We're actually playing LSU this year as well. And so...
How many hours a week? Or how many practices a week?
We have 4 practices a week, each are about like 2 to 3 hours long, and then Saturdays are our tournament days. Like, we only had one tournament this fall semester. We went to A&M, and that was a whole entire weekend. And we played like 4 or 5 games, actually 6. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, but it's time consuming. It's fun, and also there's other clubs I'm thinking about joining, like film club and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff you can do.
UVA has a giant activities fair at the beginning of the year, and after going to the one at Washington and Lee, which is like, I think something like 10 times smaller, maybe? It's a very big size difference. It was almost magical to me. I got to walk around and sign up for all these different things, so I ended up trying parkour. I'd never heard of it except or in the office when they, jump across the desks and roll around on the floor, and that was really, really exciting. I tried out for club tennis, which UVA, I guess, is known for their tennis because they were really, really good, and I didn't make it, sadly. That's okay. And I did a little bit of club volleyball. They just do some pickup games in the gym. They even have sand courts. There's all sorts of sport things. Katie and I went to ballroom dancing meetings. I also get emails from the salsa club and the Irish clog dancing club. There's all sorts of fun stuff.
I joined the Taiwanese Student Association and the Chinese Student Association and the Latino Student Association. You don't have to be Latina or Chinese or Taiwanese to actually be part of them. You can just go get to know international people. And I joined a Crafting for Conservation.
The what?
Crafting for Conservation, just like arts and crafts, recycling and stuff. And I did some soccer.
I play club tennis, so that's fun. And then also, a good thing to do, whenever you declare your major, they'll usually have clubs concerning like what you're doing. Like last year I did psychology club, and it's fun because you can go to meetings and find out like job opportunities, internships. So like it sounds really boring, but it'll help down the road. So right now I'm doing now I've changed to like art history club, so that's fun. And then freshman year I did not want to do Greek life because I thought it was really lame, but I did this year and it's really fun. You don't have to be intense and like scary about it, but it's really fun. So there's a lot to do in college.
I'm on the soccer team at Lynchburg, and that was something that I was new that I wanted to try and do in school. I walked on, and it's a great experience. It always keeps me busy, so I don't have a lot of other time for other clubs and stuff like that, but I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it. It keeps me busy every day in the fall and the spring, usually, so, yeah.
Question?
Well, I joined jiu-jitsu, which I never thought I would. I was like about 4 weeks into my first semester, and I was like, man, I really need to get in shape. And so I decided to just get, kicked and beaten a lot. And so that's what I did. It's more MMA, and now it's like my life obsession. But that's like 14 hours of my week, I think, and then like four 3-hour practices a week. And he says we do tournaments, but he hasn't been scheduling them very well. And then I joined an intramural soccer team, which really I'm not very good at soccer, but it's fun. And then I'm president of my residence hall, which sounds like it's a really important job, and like, isn't that? What? I'm not an RA. Actually, I've been denied for RA twice. I don't know why. I'm president of hall council for my residence hall, so pretty much that's an excuse to run like games that have like 500 people in them that I organize. So we're playing an Assassin's game right now, and it's pretty intense.
Is it the spoon game?
Yeah, it's the spoon game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing that, and then I guess I'm like, sometimes I do like charity stuff for my hall and like fundraisers and things like that for if someone brings ideas. But basically, it's an extension of like student government, but only for my hall. So it's pretty cool. So.
I found out this year a really cool club that UVA has. I had heard of it before college, but had never seen it. A bunch of colleges, I guess it starts there because we're the like Harry Potter generation. Everyone who reads Harry Potter loves Quidditch, and UVA has a big club Quidditch league. I guess and they divided it up by residence halls. I didn't get to play, but I went and saw a bunch of the matches. And so even if you don't want to play a real sport, there's always fun things like Quidditch.
I did it
very fun.
I did it for a semester. It was awesome. No, it's good. It was fun. Robbie?
What are like the fun levels? The levels of fun, or like describe like the stress levels compared to certain areas of high school at Wakefield or something. Compare stress. Talk about your fun. Like I want to go to school.
Fun and stress? Well, truthfully,
tell me about you, Jeff. Like I want to hear about your
I'll tell you. Truthfully, you can have fun whenever you want. Like it's about like at the end of the day, college is all about. I'm gonna be serious for a moment. College is all about time management. Like I said, I nap throughout the day, but there's a lot of kids that go to the library. You can use that time to study so that you're not up late working. Like it's all about time management. I mean, I set a schedule out so it works for me. You know, my grades are pretty good this semester, so it works for me. But as far as stress is all how you put it on yourself. Like I mean. With the writing, all right, we all got writing taken care of, you know. Everybody does well in writing, that comes from here. But as far as the other classes, it's just how much work you're willing to put into it and how early you're willing to start on it. Like if you know, like a lot of classes in college is just, you'll have like 3 or 4 major grades, that's it. 2 exams, a final, that's it. So you can either use that time, you know, finals are spread out 2-3 weeks away from each other. You can either use that 3 weeks to start studying, or you can wait 2 days before and cram for it, and then potentially not do as well as if you had just started. So I mean, just time management in general makes it a lot. It makes it as stressful or as least stressful as you make it. So it's all about you.
It's kind of like what Jeff said. There's not a lot of graded work with some classes, so whatever you're going to turn in, make sure it counts. Do the best you can, and spend some time. It's not like a whole lot of little assignments you can blow off and then make it up on a test. You know, like you said, you have 3 tests, and that could be the whole grade.
They drop the test too. Like if you take 4, they drop 1, which is amazing. They do in my college.
They do in my classes too.
Yeah. I didn't show up to my econ class and I got an A. It's easy, man. I tell you.
Go to class. Go to class.
You don't have to. It's an option. Just read the book.
Omar, go.
For me, some of the most stressful times are also like the best. I work for the Lightning professional hockey team down in Tampa Bay. And so when you're trying to organize an event that encompasses, you know, the 20,000 fans that are sitting there, that's really stressful, but it's all about the payoff. And I think like stress versus fun. And if you leave stuff to the last minute, yeah, it's going to be stressful. But if you don't, then you can go out and have that fun and relax and do well.
It's like there are definitely going to be stressful times. Like I mean, exam final week, you pretty much you feel like life is ending final week because it's horrible. But you have to find ways to kind of like relieve your stress. Like even if that means just like taking a little break and just being ridiculous with some friends. Like when we would study, like me and my friends when we were studying, like we take a little break and draw these ridiculous like things on the board, just like or just talk and mess around. Like there were numerous dance parties, which were really bad actually. Those were horrible. But like just you gotta find ways to like relieve your stress and so that you can keep going, because the worst thing is that if you just stay stressed, because then you don't, it's not good for your health and everything. Yeah.
You know, it just really does boil down to you're going to have times where, you know, you'll have tests in all your classes all at the same time, or you'll have weeks of literally not having to do a single assignment really outside of class beyond just normal studying. You know, but you know, it's like Sarah said, when you do enter those stressful times, you do have to know your limits. You do have to know when it's time to take a break, because honestly, if you don't do that, then you're not going to be efficient.